Hi, Mitch Hauschildt, Maximum Training Solutions. I'm going to just take a minute and talk about one of my favorite exercises, and I like it because it's a really dense exercise. We get a lot of core activation. We get that single leg strength into the single leg stance and proprioception. So that exercise is a overhead reverse lunge with single leg stance. Now, we'll get to that here in a second, but in order for us to really teach that exercise in the appropriate way, we need to progress into it. We can't just expect our athletes to be able to jump right into it and do a great job with it. So I want to introduce you to a little progression here that takes us into this really cool, great, dense exercise. So the first thing I want to start with is an overhead march. So he's just going to take that weight. You can use a plate, a med ball, a sandbag, whatever you have. We're going to put it overhead. Anytime we put a load overhead, the core has to turn on. It just does it automatically. It's a way we can kind of cheat the system and get it in there. So we're going to start here with just a march, okay? So he's going to keep that weight overhead, just go into a nice and controlled march, and just knee up, heel up, toe up. So he's doing a good job of coming all the way there, just that sprinter position we're looking for. With all of our other running things, I like to incorporate that into all of our lifting techniques as well. Arms locked out. So this is also teaching femoral acetabular dissociation, of getting the hip and the pelvis and the core to really work in the sequence we want them to. So once they've mastered that, this is a fairly simple exercise. We're just going to go into the overhead reverse lunge. So he's keeping that weight overhead, he's stepping back, come right to that standing position. Now, the reason I love this exercise is so many times you'll see when athletes go into this reverse lunge, when they come out of the bottom, that chest wants to flex forward. Once again, by putting this load up here, it forces them to stay tall because that core is activated. So the hip flexor has to relax because it's not trying to stabilize the pelvis like so many of our dysfunctional athletes tend to do. So then finally, we're going to work into the reverse lunge with single leg stance. So now this becomes a lot more of a dense exercise because he's coming up in this single leg stance position, kind of that hurdle step, and we're going to hold that for 3 seconds and then step right back into it. So here, we get the same thing we get with those last 2 exercises, but then we also get this single leg stance position, so we're working on a lot of stability on that opposite leg. Great exercise for training your healthy athletes as well as your injured athletes. Give it a shot and let me know how it goes.